Lamaglass Pro Staffer Roger Hinchcliffe here from Steelhead Manifesto, and today is part 3 in plug fishing mistakes. In the first series we talked about having the right rods. In part 2 we talked about how just changing the snaps and adding different snaps can actually cause you to get more wiggle out of your plugs. But today we're going to talk about something that a lot of guys overlook, and that is the line. The line is extremely important in getting these plugs to run right as well. Now here in the Great Lakes, where we have freezing temperatures, we can't use braided line in the winter because it freezes up. So what we have to do is we use monofilament. And the mono that I like to use, I use the Suffix Siege, and I use the tangerine color so it's very bright so I can see where my plugs are at. And if a plug actually gets something on it and causes it to foul and it starts to slide over, by having that visual high-vis line, I can actually see where that's going and actually get it and take care of the leaves or the debris so it doesn't go into the other plug and cause a mess. So monofilament is key, using the bright line so you can see and have a visual reference of where your plugs are. The other reason why I personally like mono, and again, this is an opinion, but with me, when a fish grabs that plug, they have to turn sideways. When they turn sideways, you got them, right? Well, with mono, you have that stretch, and that's what I like about that. They don't feel as much pressure, and when they turn, you got them. So mono, for several reasons. 1, the stretch factor. Number 2, it doesn't freeze up. And number 3, you can get it in these bright, visible colors, okay? The other thing we're gonna talk about with line is I tie in a fluorocarbon leader, and I tie that in to my mono. Now, here's where a lot of guys make a mistake. Do not run line over 12-pound test, okay? Can you? Yes. But when you're fishing these really small plugs, like this is a Maglip 3.0, if you're fishing a larger diameter line, and we have conditions like today where the water is very low and slow, because that line is so thick, it's thicker, it is a larger diameter, it's causing more drag on that plug, and the plug is not getting down to the zone that it needs to be. So what I generally use is I never go over 12-pound test, and believe it or not, I mostly run 10-pound fluorocarbon. Now obviously here in the Great Lakes, we don't have 25-pound steelhead. I mean, very rarely are those type of fish caught. They are caught, but not like out west. And so what we like to do here in the Great Lakes is run a fluorocarbon leader in conjunction with your mono, but don't go over 12-pound test. And me personally, running the small 3-inch plugs, 3.5-inch, I only run 10-pound test fluorocarbon. So keep that in mind. Again, if you've noticed the common theme throughout this series, it's all about the wiggle. You gotta get the wiggle out of the plug, you gotta get the plug in the zone, and don't make those mistakes. Make sure you have the right lines on your reels. One last thing, I want to point something out to you. A lot of guys underspool their reels. Do not do that. Follow your reels manufacturer guidelines. Most of them all are 1/8 of an inch from the edge. Why that's important is if you don't have enough line on your spool and your line counter says you're 40 feet back, you're really not 40 feet back. And if you don't believe me, get yourself a measuring tape, one of those reel up measuring tapes, and measure and check the distance, what this says, from the tip of the rod to where your plug's at. Do this in your yard, and you will notice that if you don't have enough line on here, it's actually going to be short. It might be 35 feet, 34 feet. That's not what you want. Those plugs have to be at the same distance, and you want to make sure that everything is correct. So if your line counter is telling you that that's 40 feet, it needs to be 40 feet. And if it's not, it's because you don't have enough line on your spool. Give these tips a try. Hope they work out for you. And remember, be evil on the river.